What we're going to do this trip is there's been a discussion on Facebook recently about different size star wheels and the pawls and why do you have those on a Linotype. Linotype doesn't seem to have that. They have one set star wheel for the whole range. But Linotype found it necessary to use different size star wheels on their different models. The star wheel is located right in here. This is the star wheel on the machine. And what happens is when your mats are dropped out of your magazine, they go down these channels, they hit the belt comes down, and the star wheel stacks the mats up into your machine as they're coming across. Now this particular machine has a star wheel that's 1 1/16 inch across. And I'll show you that in just a little bit. But what determines that is this pawl right here. This pawl is a certain thickness. Some of the pawls are narrower than this, so they take a smaller star wheel. Some are bigger than this, so they take a larger star wheel. Now these pawls, you have one on the gate and you have one on the back gate. They should be directly across from each other. So when your mat comes in, the star wheel your mat drops down. The star wheel brings the ears of the mat just inside your paws. It's just inside the pawl on the inside there. If it had the smaller star wheel, then it would actually ride right on the edge of the pawl and wouldn't be doing its job. These pawls are in there to keep the mat from falling back on you as it catches. There's also some little metal pieces on the bottom, little metal springs to keep the bottom from kicking back on these gates. But this particular machine takes a 1 1/16 star wheel because of this pawl, the size that it is. What you have here, this is the size star wheel that is on the machine now, and it takes a 1 1/16 star wheel. This is the size pawl that's on that particular one, and it takes a 1 1/16 star wheel. This particular one has a smaller pawl, so it takes a 1 inch star wheel. So that's why you have that. I did not have a sample of the larger one. Also on the inside of your gate, there's a buffer. And this buffer is made to be changed periodically because it will wear, and this one is worn. And this is a little spring plate at the bottom I was telling you about before. There's one on front and back. But this buffer, when it wears, on the back of the back gate is a steel buffer. And before, originally they had steel buffers on front and back. And they determined that when the mats were falling down, they were boogering up the bottom toes on the mats. So we had to decide how to fix that. So they decided they would put this fiber buffer on the front gate and make it a tad taller than the one in the rear, so the mat would hit this first. That way it didn't mess the toes of the mats up, and this was cheap enough to be replaced. You just take a screw off, or on some there's 2 screws. Like on this one, there's 2 screws. You just take those off, you pull the gate off, take a screw out, replace your buffer, put the screw back in. And that eliminates the problem of messing your mats up. Now also on the table I have, this is the largest star wheel. That's the next size. This is our 1 1/16 that we use for that gate, and this is our 1 inch. Now color doesn't really mean anything. These were different manufacturers. These are all 1 inch star wheels, but they were made by different people over time. This one actually has little points on it that was supposed to help with space bands. This one is a little thicker. So different customers or different manufacturers over the years made different star wheels in different configurations just to see what would work better and what would help. On the Linotype Monarch, they had a big round star wheel that actually had 8 points on it. On the Linotype Electron, they had another style of star wheel that had 5 points on it. So there's all different kinds of star wheels. But your major sizes are these four for the Linotype. For the Intertype, it's the 1 inch only. That's what they all use.